Hey everyone, so per the title, I have substantial channel announcements to share today. I'm really shaking up how I run things here. Let's get right into it. Alright, so for those of you who don't want to hear the whole backstory, the long and the short of it is this. I'm splitting all of the 500 videos I published to this channel into 3 separate channels. Links to them can be found below in the description and in the end screen. So for the law of attraction stuff, I've opened up another channel called Noetic Cascades. For those of you interested in my discussion on books or my interviews with authors and intellectuals, basically everything I've been focusing on for the past 9 months, all that content will gradually be uploaded to another channel called the Derek London Podcast. The Derek London Podcast will gradually become my main channel. If I'm being completely honest with myself, most of you watching are likely affiliated with the Jehovah's Witnesses, right? So eventually you'll notice over the course of several months, all that will remain on this channel will be my Jehovah's Witness content. Now I want to make abundantly clear here, I am not abandoning this channel, not at all. I have an exciting vision for this one actually, and we'll be getting into that momentarily. Anyway, that's what's going on in a nutshell. Here's what's forced this change. Let me start way back at the very beginning, about 2.5 years ago. When I opened this channel, I spoke mainly on the law of attraction. And I was growing, but for some of you who are there at the outset, you know that Derek London went from doing very poorly produced voiceover videos with, some sort of graphic backdrop to elaborate discussions on spiritual and philosophic themes, with introductions, end screens, a studio, professional audio, video, green screen, thumbnails, the works, right? That represented about 120 videos right there. And I was growing, but very slowly. The law of attraction community was completely crowded, and I was still just finding my feet, to be honest. Then, and probably a few of you will remember this, someone asked me to talk about my background with the Jehovah's Witnesses and what brought me around to the law of attraction as my new worldview. And pretty much overnight, I garnered several thousand views and hundreds of subscribers. So I thought I'd double down on that for a time. For whatever reason, I had spiked the algorithm. Jehovah's Witnesses stick around and it's very easy to retain an audience. The XJWs are probably one of the most engaged communities on YouTube because most of them are waking up and overcoming trauma, right? I had always felt heading into this JW category that it would be temporary though. As much as I enjoyed offering people a rather unique, less angry, and empowering viewpoint, relative to many other XJW platforms, I still chafe to think of myself in terms of the Jehovah's Witnesses. I mean, think about it. We left the Jehovah's Witnesses because there's life after Watchtower, didn't we? I can't deny my past, and I'm thankful for it, but I decided years ago that I would not allow that cult to define who I am going forward. I've always felt that YouTube creators who are rightly and honorably motivated in this community should be trying to put themselves out of business. Now, what do I mean by that? What I mean is a good doctor, if he lived in an ideal world, his goal should be to cure everyone so that there's never a need for doctors anymore. The good doctor wants to put himself out of business. Of course, that's naive. This is if we lived in a perfect world. But it's an illustration of what I'm trying to communicate. I've never cared to convince you to my side of the argument or to have you leave your family. I've always wanted to say my piece and just leave it up to you. The arguments are there if anyone wants to hear it. I'll reiterate, I'm not abandoning this channel at all. The Lloyd Evans types of this world, by contrast, are destined to do this dance in perpetuity. He will always chase the Jehovah's Witnesses like the moon and the sun in the dusking sky. If he were to wake up tomorrow to suddenly learn that the Jehovah's Witnesses were packing up shop and selling everything off, he would find himself without a message or purpose in life. And I find that rather sad, Now, due respect, he has done a lot of work, but Lloyd Evans doesn't want the Watchtower to go. He's having the time of his life right now. I believe he's far more zealous and up on the literature than he ever was as an active elder in the organization. It reminds me of this lyric the Carpenters once wrote, which goes, "We're lost inside this lonely game we play. Thoughts of leaving disappear each time I see your eyes, and no matter how hard I try to understand the reasons why we carry on this way, were lost in this masquerade. Now that to me seems more tragic of a life than spending your days at the hub of this organization. At least those people have hope in their souls. You got to give them that much. Of course, I'm not suggesting that it's possible to act as though you can completely cut the cult entirely out of your mind. If I felt that way, I wouldn't have produced any witness videos in the first place. But as much as I'll always keep an eye on that group and seek to help those who are waking up, the reality remains there is so much more to who I am and who you are than the fact that we left a cult. Sadly, and this is the main takeaway from this video, whenever I post something to this channel, all YouTube's algorithm understands is that I'm an ex-Jehovah's Witness and will forever serve up my content to those loosely connected to that milieu. For a time, I genuinely believed that I could turn cream into butter and just walk my way out of this niche. But after several hundred videos, I've learned that's not possible. Algorithms are extremely unforgiving and prejudicial things. So, here's what I have planned going forward. Over the next several months, I'll be republishing my bookish, philosophical, and political stuff to the Derek London podcast. Once it's monetized, that will eventually become my main channel. Let's talk about the law of attraction for a moment. Speaking of algorithms, I've come to learn that unless we're talking about, gratitude, cognitive reframing techniques, scripting, journaling, dream boarding, guided meditations, or else prosperity gospeling, the community wants nothing to do with it. I believed I could expose the intellectual underpinnings of LOA, but that's not really what they do there. Not that there's anything wrong with that, mind you. Those are equally important things to discuss, and I've made scores of videos like that. So I'll gradually transition those LOA videos to my Noetic Cascades channel. I don't intend to completely abandon that group either. But being that the LOA community is only interested in those sort of things I mentioned earlier, not really the intellectual stuff, I've said about as much as I want to say on that topic. Should a flash of inspiration strike, I suppose I'll post videos there from time to time, but what really turns me on lately is what I'm learning in these books I'm being invited to review. I'm still not completely sure how some of this stuff will roll out. For example, on this channel, my Jehovah's Witness forum, I may decide to do live streams for my podcast channel because, you have to be monetized on YouTube to do live streams. Then I'll take them down and post them on the podcast channel as a normal video upload. I'm still undecided about that, but it's something I'm considering while I work towards monetization on the podcast. Most importantly, what I plan on doing with this channel is hold semi-regular Jehovah's Witness live streams where we can chat about new developments over there at Watchtower, perhaps some inspiring interviews such as I've done in the past and other fun things. It'll be super casual updates though. I don't think I'll do any crazy expose or research projects. Again, the JWs will always be a part of my past, so I can't see myself just stopping altogether. The point is though, there's more to us than that. So anyways, that's the lowdown. Tell me in the comments below what you think of all this, or if you have any ideas you want to share with me. Also, for those of you who like my bookish content, where we talk about philosophy, politics, social issues, great fiction, and talk to amazing thinkers and authors, please subscribe to the Derek London podcast. I'm going to be hounding you guys over the weeks to come to subscribe to my other channels, so make sure you do, all right? I want to thank all of you for consistently tuning in. I've met a lot of great people on this channel and look forward to meeting many more of you actually. I ain't going anywhere. I've been doing this YouTube thing for nearly 2.5 years and I'm not about to walk away from it now. And I believe the algorithm will finally be able to understand what it is the hell I'm doing here. As always, for those of you who are not subscribed to this channel or the other ones I mentioned, make sure you do, and we'll see you again very soon. Cheers. Hey good people, did you like this video? Well, do yourself a favor and subscribe already. Also, if you love books and want to talk about things sort of unrelated to the Jehovah's Witnesses, be sure to subscribe to my other channel called the Derek London Podcast. Click this little button right here to do that, alright? And I'll see you over there. I'm out. Peace.